You ever think about what could have happened if John Cena had turned heel back in the Ruthless Aggression Era? Well, today, using a universe mode / exhibition playthrough, we are going to find out what would have happened if John Cena turned heel in 2007. The timeline starts at WrestleMania 23 in an epic WWE Championship match between John Cena and Shawn Michaels. Main event of WrestleMania 23, John Cena looks for the FU, but Shawn Michaels would counter it, and then he would land the devastating Sweet Chin music, cover John Cena, ref would count, and Shawn Michaels would come out victorious and become the new WWE Champion heading into the spring and summer. Shawn Michaels would then extend a handshake and John Cena would shake it. The ending of WrestleMania concludes, and the next night on Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania 23, Shawn Michaels is in the ring, but John Cena interrupts. John Cena mentions to Shawn Michaels that he wants to run it back one more time as he's owed a rematch. All of a sudden, do-rag Vince McMahon, who had just been shaved bald thanks to Bobby Lashley and Donald Trump the night prior, comes out here. He stares at Shawn Michaels, and then all of a sudden, John Cena would hit the "You Can't See Me," and a shocking event occurs. John Cena assaults Shawn Michaels, turns his back on the showstopper, and aligns himself with do-rag Vince. It's unbelievable. We never thought we'd see this before. And Cena and Vince unleash an absolutely ruthless assault on the new WWE Champion. John Cena's had enough. He's snapped. This is a John Cena we haven't really seen before since the 2003 days, as Vince hits him with a stunner. But you could argue this is worse than the 2003 days, because John Cena all of a sudden locks him in a single leg trapped STF as Vince McMahon taunts Shawn Michaels. The next week on Raw, Cena's in the ring awaiting for his opponent. It's none other than the Sandman. And John Cena once again shows his ruthless side, the side that we saw the previous week attack Shawn Michaels. He's brought this out again, this newfound anger and aggression, something again we haven't seen really since the 2003 days, and you can argue it's worse than that. He stomps out the Sandman, brutally assaults him. Cena would prove to be way too much for the Sandman to handle, even despite Sandman being an ECW legend. But again, John Cena stomps out the Sandman before he digs into that deep anger, that level of hatred that we've seen. He locks in the single leg trapped STF, this new STF variant, for the win. All of a sudden, HBK shows up out of nowhere from the crowd, and he assaults John Cena. He's looking for vengeance for the week prior when Cena turned his back on HBK. They fight all throughout the arena, all through the crowd. It's insane. An all-out brawl has been broken out, and the match is made official for Backlash 2007. WWE Championship on the line. Cena versus Shawn Michaels 2. Loser leaves Raw. That's the stipulation made by Vince McMahon. The loser will leave the brand. And Cena and Shawn Michaels go to war again, but again, just like at WrestleMania 23, it's a classic. We can't deny that it's a classic, even with the new deep-rooted hatred between these two. As Shawn Michaels goes to the top, hits an elbow drop, and then Shawn Michaels would head to the corner. He would stalk his prey, lining up for the Sweet Chin music. All of a sudden, do-rag Vince ruins it, ruins the match. It's no disqualification, though. As made, once again, rules made by Vince McMahon to help protect John Cena, and now a 2-on-1 assault. All of a sudden, the game Triple H makes his long return from his knee injury that he had last year. He makes a return with the sledgehammer, goes right for John Cena and Vince McMahon. He takes them both out, and he helps Shawn Michaels as Michaels lays out Cena with the Sweet Chin music. Ref counts. They win. Shawn Michaels wins. D-Generation X is back, and John Cena is forced to leave Raw. And that would bring us a few months later. We got to switch to the SmackDown side. Edge and Mr. Kennedy would be involved in a chaotic rivalry. They would destroy each other. And in a match on SmackDown, ladder match for the Money in the Bank briefcase that Mr. Kennedy won at WrestleMania 23. It's on the line as Edge and Kennedy go to war. They destroy each other. At one point in the matchup, Kennedy picks up Edge, heads to the top, and he nails him with that massive avalanche Green Bay plunge right onto a ladder. Kennedy at the climax of the match would look to get the briefcase, but Edge would push the ladder over and do the unthinkable. Just like at WrestleMania 17, a spear in midair, this time to Mr. Kennedy. Edge climbs to the top, and he would be able to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Edge becomes the new Money in the Bank briefcase holder, giving him a title shot at any time. And speaking of, he cashes in a few weeks later on the World Heavyweight Champion, The Undertaker, who had already been beat down by the Great Khali. Edge cashes in, goes for a spear, hits Taker with it, goes for the cover, and he becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. Edge does the unthinkable in a cheap, grimy way after winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. He becomes World Heavyweight Champion on the blue brand. But over the next few weeks, Taker would get enraged. He would assault Edge in the backstage area. He would take Edge and hit him with a massive choke slam off the crate in the back. And that would pretty much make it official for Judgment Day. Edge and Undertaker World Heavyweight Championship rematch and a casket match. And it's a brutal war. They go back and forth all match long. A lot of bitter blood going on here. And then Undertaker picks up Edge, looking for a powerbomb, possibly. No, but he switches. And then he drops Edge over the casket. It's a brutal encounter, definitely. And they are not shy of using the casket to their advantage, as Edge does the same thing, this time outside the ring. Massive powerbomb to Undertaker on the casket. Then Taker slams Edge face first into the casket. Undertaker would attempt to eliminate him, and Edge would try and fight back. And then Edge would indeed flip the lid over in Taker's face. All of a sudden, we see a shocking reveal in return. John Cena was in the casket, and then he low blows Undertaker. John Cena, after the last we saw of him was Backlash, in which he lost to Shawn Michaels. He was forced to leave Raw, and now he's assaulted the Dead Man in a dream encounter. And shockingly, Cena helps out Edge take out the Undertaker, and then John Cena would put Taker in the casket. And something we never thought we'd ever see in our lifetime, John Cena officially teams up with the Radar Superstar Edge, two longtime rivals, and then they do the unthinkable. They light the casket on fire with the Undertaker inside. It's despicable. It's disgraceful. Once again, this brand new version of John Cena is vicious and is mean. They've officially teamed up. Edge and John Cena. Who would have thought in any world that these two would team up? But Edge as the World Heavyweight Champion and John Cena with the sacred urn of the Undertaker, mocking the Undertaker. They'd go on the next few months to completely dominate the scene on SmackDown. John Cena would take out opponents. Edge would take out other opponents. It would be pure madness. They would dominate the field, ladies and gentlemen. This new duo on SmackDown would destroy everyone in their paths. And John Cena and Edge would look to be on fire. They've got a whole ton of momentum. And then they even go up for the tag team championships. Edge and John Cena officially teaming up, going up against the champions MVP and Matt Hardy. When the match starts, all of a sudden we would see a shocking display. MVP, the US champion, turns on Matt Hardy. And then he goes out the ring and he allows Edge and John Cena to pick the bones of Matt Hardy. John Cena, of course, he's going to do whatever it takes with this newfound attitude. Hits him with the FU, and then he tags Edge in. Edge then would pick his bones, and Edge would lay out Matt Hardy with the spear. Would go for the cover. And John Cena and Edge, this new dangerous duo, would become the WWE Tag Team Champions. Then the next week on SmackDown would be time to find a number one contender for SummerSlam. Batista goes up against Fit Finlay in a number one contenders match to determine the number one contender for Edge's world title at SummerSlam. Batista hoists up Finlay and beats him with the Batista bomb. All of a sudden, the World Heavyweight Champion will make his way down. And then Cena from behind hits him with a chair. The Tag Team Champions unleash a ruthless assault on the Animal Batista ahead of their match at SummerSlam. Cena with the chair, and Edge with a weapon that he's called Spike. At SummerSlam, Batista and Edge one-on-one. Edge is a double champion. The match is pretty good. It's insane. Batista and Edge go back and forth all match. Batista, however, has not only Edge to worry about, but also John Cena at ringside in Edge's corner. And you know, ever since Cena and Edge have teamed up, they've been dominant as Edge is able to land the execution. Ref goes for the count, but Batista would kick out. Batista has heart. He has that fight. Edge would come off the middle rope. Batista would dodge, hits him with a spine buster. Ref would count, but Edge would also kick out in this back and forth match. All of a sudden, in the climax of the match, John Cena would grab Spike from under the ring. But all of a sudden, we would see the Master of the 619, Rey Mysterio, would make a shocking save and return to help out his best friend Batista. Rey Mysterio goes at John Cena, hits him with a dragon run outside the ring, and then Batista does the unthinkable. He gets Edge, hits him with the Batista bomb, and then Batista would go for the cover, and Batista would become the new World Heavyweight Champion. However, this feud between this new duo and Batista is far from over, as the next month at No Mercy, we would see a massive tag team match, an all-star tag team match for the WWE Tag Team titles. Batista and Mysterio against Cena and Edge. Cena and Edge are the defending champions, but Batista has all the momentum after winning the world title the month prior. Cena picks up Rey Mysterio for an FU through the announcer's table. And then Cena climbs the top rope, looks for a crossbody, but Batista catches him. He catches him, gets Cena, and turns it into a massive Batista bomb. Batista covers him, and Rey Mysterio and Batista become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Again, it's not over yet. The feud is not over. The next few weeks on SmackDown, Cena would brutalize Rey Mysterio, trap him in the ring, and would brutally assault the man. And then in the backstage area, Batista would, unfortunately, thanks to Edge, be locked behind the doors that lets him into the arena. And John Cena would just lay waste to Rey Mysterio, again assaulting him with Spike. It's vicious, it's a brutal scene. Bad night if you're Rey Mysterio. Cena would end the beatdown by trapping Rey Mysterio in a leg-trapped STF to brutalize Rey Mysterio even more. The next few weeks would be a nightmare for the Animal Batista. Cena comes out during his match one week, distracts him while the Great Khali picks the bones. The Great Khali locks him in the vice grip, and John Cena just taunts the World Heavyweight Champion. Heading into Survivor Series, this has become a totally bitter blood feud between the Animal and the leader of C Nation. Survivor Series happens, world title on the line, Batista defends against John Cena. John Cena's been waiting for this moment all year, and the match is pretty good. Again, really good match. John Cena and Batista have a fire lit in between themselves in this feud. Batista looks for the Batista bomb, but John Cena would be able to get out of it. All of a sudden, Gregory Helms would distract the referee, and then Finlay grabs the leg of Batista. John Cena then grabs Batista while the ref's not looking. Low blow. Cena goes low, and that seems to be the common theme in this playthrough. Cena using cheap underlying tactics to defeat his opponents. He hoists up the Animal, hits him with the FU, and becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. And it seems like John Cena has some new friends, some new cronies, in the form of Finlay and Gregory Helms. This new group would show their faces on SmackDown. In the lead up to the Royal Rumble, John Cena declares that these members will be in the Royal Rumble, and they will make it so that he has no opponent for WrestleMania 24. The Royal Rumble starts. It's Triple H and Shawn Michaels, both members of DX, starting off. And then, as the match goes on, the match starts to fill with Edge, Finlay, and Gregory Helms, the henchmen of John Cena. And they dominate the Royal Rumble. They eliminate guys like Rey Mysterio, and Edge dominates the field himself as well, taking out guys like JBL. Team Cena would then team up to try and take out D-Generation X. As the match climax comes to a head, number 30 is revealed, and a casket is outside the ring, and Edge is looking at it, confused. All of a sudden, it's the dead man. The Undertaker is back. The Undertaker makes his long-awaited return. The last time we saw him was at Judgment Day, when Edge and John Cena first teamed up to take him out. They lit the casket on fire, and Taker dominates the field. He gets back at Team Cena. eliminates everyone in sight, eliminates Edge, Finlay, Gregory Helms, and then he turns his attention to D-Generation X. As they're the final three, Taker wins the Royal Rumble for the second year in a row. Back-to-back Royal Rumble wins, and then Taker sets the casket on fire to put that history behind them as Undertaker is going to WrestleMania 24. The next week on SmackDown, Edge and Cena will be ranting in the ring. They're pissed that The Undertaker is back. Undertaker would make his presence felt and said that he's not alone in this. He has some backup. And that is in the form of you-know-who. As the fire goes off, it is none other than the Big Red Machine, Kane, The Undertaker's brother. The Brothers of Destruction are reunited, and the match is going to take place 2v2 at No Way Out 2008. It's going to all go down. Edge and Cena versus The Undertaker and Kane in a dream tag team matchup. The match is brutal. Anything goes. Cena and Edge corner Kane with kendo sticks, Singapore Canes, whatever you want to call them. They destroy Undertaker's brother. They just trap him in the corner and beat him down. They double team him all match long. They don't let Kane tag in. Undertaker, when he does tag in, is trapped between the two as they got the sacred urn. Edge distracts Taker with the urn. Cena turns Taker around and hits him with a low blow. The match loses all control. The match is thrown away, but Edge and Cena don't care. They have one goal in mind: soften up The Undertaker for the dream match that's about to happen at WrestleMania 24. They team up and absolutely brutalize The Undertaker with that urn. Cena assaults Taker with the urn. It's despicable. It's disgusting. He taunts him. He gets up one more time and lays out Taker one more time with that urn. It's despicable. The next few weeks in the SmackDown leading up to WrestleMania 24, Taker would hunt down every member one by one of Team Cena. He takes out Finlay. He takes out Gregory Helms. A brutal fall for Gregory Helms there. And then he would turn his attention to Edge in a match on SmackDown, and once again the match is thrown out, but this time it's because The Undertaker destroys Edge with weapons all around the ring. He picks up Edge on the announcer's table, and he hits it with a massive tombstone piledriver through that table. It's brutal. But it happens, folks. WrestleMania 24 in 2008. The Undertaker, the Royal Rumble winner, two times in a row, he wins the Rumble against the World Heavyweight Champion John Cena. It's been a hectic year for both these men, and now it finally culminates in a match that's dated all the way back, that was built all the way back from Judgment Day, when Cena took the casket and burnt it and put it into flames. Undertaker returned at the Rumble, won the Rumble, then burned that very casket. Then he took out every member of Team Cena as he hits Cena with a suicide dive. The match is insane, folks. A dream match that we never thought we'd see up to this point. Cena and Taker go back and forth all match long until at one point in the match, Taker hits him with that comeback. Taker's looking for the choke slam, but Cena counters. Cena hoists him up and gets him with the FU. He covers The Undertaker. Ref counts, but it is not enough as Taker kicks out. Then Taker gets Cena, gets him up, and hits him with that last ride. He covers John Cena. Ref goes for the count, but Cena is able to stay in it. As the World Heavyweight Champion, Cena has so much to defend here. At one point in the match, the climax of the match, the referee goes down, and then Cena grabs that sacred urn from under the ring. That urn that he's been toying with, and he's been mocking The Undertaker with it. He grabs that urn, gets into the ring, looks to use magic on The Undertaker, looking to use the urn to his advantage. He looks to assault Taker with the urn, but Taker counters, kick to the face. And now Taker looking to get back at him, but Cena, it was all a distraction and a ploy to hit him with the low blow. The referee's down, he didn't see it. But now Charles Robinson does his signature run. Charles Robinson makes the save. Cena hoists him up on his shoulders, and a super FU is hit on The Undertaker. He covers The Undertaker, and when you think it's over, it's not. It's not over. This is The Undertaker we're talking about at WrestleMania. Cena looks for another FU, but Taker gets out of it. And he Irish whips Cena into the corner. He picks up Cena, He grabs Cena by the throat and he hits him with a super choke slam. He then locks him in that Hell's Gate, the move that when he locks it in, you know it could be wraps. Cena's trapped in the Hell's Gate, a submission that can't really be escaped out of. That mouth into the knee, and Cena taps out. In the main event of WrestleMania 24, The Undertaker does it. The Undertaker gets his revenge, and he becomes the World Heavyweight Champion. 2 years in a row, he wins the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what could have happened if John Cena had turned heel back in the Ruthless Aggression Era back in 2007.